All right, I got roasted by my own community, and that's fine because I want my community to hold me responsible or sort of like maybe educate me on stuff that I don't know. And that's the thing that I enjoy the most is that we all have different perspectives, and there are stuff that I don't really see that you guys see. So I wanted to like sort of read your comments because I have seen some of your comments on the latest video. Weathering Waves keeps ignoring half its audience. And yeah, I think I got some takes wrong. And I do think there are some things that are correct. But yeah, I'm going to be reading some of your comments and sort of like maybe responding to each one of them. And yeah, like I said, it's like I love when my community keeps me in check whenever I see something weird because yeah, that's how it should go, honestly. So Journeyman MW, he says, is this mythical half of the audience in the room with us now? Okay. All right. The title is kind of like I feel like after like you guys started to like to point it out. Honestly, I went back to the Reddit post that I saw about like half the audience of Wuthering Waves like audience wants more male characters and stuff like that, and it's totally bollocks. So yeah, I think the title is kind of all over the place. Honestly, I think the percentage is probably like most of you kind of pointed out is that it's probably like around 15 to 20%, not even that. But yeah, I'll give you guys that. That's the first L take I did honestly, but yeah. They keep arguing that. Oh, sorry. Kobe Nasso says they keep arguing that female characters sell more and that we should spend more on male characters to prove to Kuro that they sell, but they fail to mention that male pools have months, sometimes years, to save hundreds and hundreds of pools. Why would I pay for something I can't get for free? That's fair. That's a good point, honestly. Because yeah, some people are just like saving for to get males characters. And honestly, when I say like male characters, not like waifus or husbandos. I want like a good male characters that pushes the story forward in a sense, like similar to a lot of like protagonists from main stories like GTA, like similar to God of War, The Last of Us. Like all those good characters have good male characters, and I don't want like what is it called male thirst characters, more like cool characters like with good aura, essentially. But yeah, a lot of people I feel like that interpreted that wrong, but yeah, it's just me. Knight Templar of 10 Cold. That was a difficult to to pronounce. It's such a long name. It's not about if those male characters are hot or not. I agree. It's about them existing in the first place. I've told that many times on X. Male audience need male characters too. That's very true because every man needs heroic examples as much as feminine beauty. That's very true. I love Weathering Waves in a sense that I keep on forgetting that it's like this is something that you guys pointed out as well. I love Weathering Waves to the point that I forget sometimes that it's a gacha game. Gacha games is like more like waifu collections games sometimes, and yeah, they have to like to appeal to the wider audience of male characters, which is, as you guys mentioned, like that. I'm gonna be reading it because, as you guys know, I hearted some of these comments before. But yeah, it's like they need to cater more of the male characters, and also like there is a lot of surveys that I didn't know about that you guys pointed out as well, that they want more female characters than male characters. But yeah, but I agree with Knight to some extent that I feel like they can still like add them as well. But yeah, stringing it strength, is that strength? Oh my god, why you guys have such a complicated name? I'll never understand why people keep saying spend on the male. Two things: people who exclusively want male aren't going to pull for women. Then I myself prefer female characters or a balance of both, even one male to female ratio or two male of five female would be good. That's why the game released with a lot of male characters to trap people who believe the ratio would be good. I only pull if I like design and move set. The whole waifu and husbando stuff seems extremely weird for me, but I'm starting to get annoyed by the fact that all of the female characters are like copy and paste in their design and must always say something suggestive to Rover. honestly, I don't feel like the characters are copy and paste in their design. Yeah, they more or less like the same like hot sexualized like characters, but at the same time, as I mentioned, like, or you guys mentioned, it's a gacha game after all, and they're appealing to the male characters and pushing them to spend. It's a walking casino essentially. But yeah, but I feel like the ratio from the beginning was 1 to 3, I believe. And then the ratio got to 1 to 5, I believe, afterwards. I could be mistaken. But yeah, the ratio is definitely like became more skewed. But like I said, it's like a lot of you, I didn't find like the survey that you guys like pointed out in the comments, but a lot of you pointed out to a survey that people asked for more female characters, and they kind of skewed the scale towards female characters because people asked for more female. This is something that I didn't know about, and you guys sort of pointed out. I'm actually like going, like doing these sort of like in order, honestly. But yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to remove some of them, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be reading all of them. But yeah, I'm going to be reading the things that got the most likes, essentially. But yeah, let's take Scar Rule 69 says, I love the new update and it looks promising. I love it too. It's very, very promising as well. I'm looking forward to the to Cartothea and Lupa's dynamic. It looks really, really awesome. And also like the new content and the new Echo event and everything. They look really, really cool in my opinion. But he says, I said it before and I'll say it again. You are 100% right. I don't think I'm 100% right. By the way, I forgot to mention this. I got ratioed hard, basically. There were a lot of dislikes on this video, essentially. I think it was 170 to 127 or something. Yeah, it's the ratio is huge, basically. More than 50% of you disliked the video, essentially. But yeah, understandable. I like I said, it's like you have to if you say something that is to some extent wrong, you have to take accountability for it, and like I said, it's like I don't want the community that just like goes along with me, and I'm not going to be like, oh my god, Kurobots like attack the channel or whatever, or like Hoyu shows like other people when they criticize a certain game, they just like assume that most people criticizing them or they got bombarded, because like most of the people that commented on these videos are people that regularly comment on my videos as well, so I respect it. All right, you're 100% right. WutheringWaves has already shown its hand. Waifu-driven narratives, forced flirtation with Rover, and male characters getting sidelined. They've done it before and they'll do it again. The pattern is clear. Female characters get personal, emotional depth with Rover, while male characters exist to move the plot along or hype up the next waifu. To some, what he says something more. Unless you want more Gunnar bait, it's best to wait until we get real confirmation on the next region. Hoping for change now is pointless when they've shown exactly where their priorities is. I can tell you want Scar so badly, bro. But yeah, I feel like yes, the forced flirtation is kind of strange, like with every female character that they release. But like I said, they're sort of catering the male audience that they have. A lot of you pointed out that, but I feel like yes, they could kind of prioritize the minority of their audience as well, because yeah, it's not half. Apparently, like you guys like pointed out that, like I mentioned, is about like 20%, and the people like made an observation about the what's it called? I'm standing in the way there. Let me move. Oh, I moved the wrong thing. Let me move my camera real quick. Yeah, you guys pointed out falling apart. When it comes to like what I meant with falling apart, maybe I should have like made it much more clearer. Is that like the ratio from like 1 to 3 to 1 to 5, sort of like every 5 female characters we get 1 male character. But yeah, I should have made it more sort of like obvious. But yeah, I got that correctly as well. I'll take the L. It's fine. But yeah, I feel like the story is really, really good, and I love the story. like the force flotations can be a bit like all over the place sometimes, but I do think that the story itself is still really, really good. But I do hope that they release like the story for the sake of the story, so to speak. And I feel like the Wuthering Waves community will spend even on male characters in a sense where if the story is really, really good and you introduce a character with so much aura and so much like good character building progression or whatever, I think most people are going to be summoning for them, honestly. At least like this is what I think. But yeah, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below because I'd love to hear your opinion as well. Ricardo Palo, half Limao. I'm sure the fan base is male dominant. That's very true. By a landslide, and then you are assuming that the female fan base are all husbando enjoyers. If they want to bridge the gap, they should have done it that earlier. At this point, the game has cemented as gathering wives, and I, of course, have no complaints about it. Honestly, like even if male characters like they do gather up characters not for husbandry reasons, and that's not the main the main thingy that I want them to release male characters. Honestly, why I want more male characters, maybe this is something that I didn't explain properly in my other videos. I want like good characters that kind of influence the story in a really good way, in a sense. But I do understand your point of view, honestly, because yeah, they have male characters, and male characters tend to want to like to have eye candies and stuff. But yeah, it's like if we follow the ideology or the thinking of like, oh, if you're a male, you don't want a good male character. Like you wouldn't be able to like to play God of War. You won't be able to like to play all the cool games like The Witcher and stuff like that, just because they're male characters, so I can't play them because oh my god, I need to like to have a female character as a male in order for me not to be that kind of guy. But it's like, yeah, I can see the argument in a sense where, you can say it's a gacha game, so yeah, it's meant to be like a waifu collection and stuff like that. But yeah, but I do see your perspective. If you are a husbando enjoyer, maybe it's time to cut your losses and go play something else. Or if you are planning to stay in spite of that, then save us your bitching and realizing you're not the largest demographic they are aiming for, and be happy with the bone Kuro throws at you every now and then. I feel like Ricardo is all over the place, honestly, because if his argument says go enjoy something else, according to your thingy, then go play Nikki or play like a dating game where you can just like collect waifus at this point, just because they I feel like your argument doesn't hold up, honestly. But yeah, I could be mistaken. You could have been just rage writing, but I feel like you're all over the place, honestly. But I feel like a lot of people are going to be summoning for male characters if they are done properly. Like people are losing their brains over in China over the new character Shu Yuan, I think. I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, but yeah. Just watch Korea's live reaction to the announcement of new characters in the official watch party. Night and day difference when they showed the green male and then Chisa. The winning move is just to keep doing what they have been doing, or they could up the male ratio in both story and playable resonators to appeal to a loud minority, and of course pissing off a large portion of the fan base in the process. You'll see they leaked all the characters up to 2.8 version and only one was male. Get the memo already. All right, fair. And I believe like the argument where like people are not spending money on male characters because the male characters that we got so far are kind of trash. Like Brand, oh my god, like such a horrible, like he's more like of a character than actually gameplay. He's a support character that that does like 20% less damage or 15% less damage than Jinshi, which is insane. And also, like, what do we have? Mortify. Mortify is just a support character again. What do we have? Jian, that got released at the beginning of the game, and people were unsure if they should summon for him or kind of skip him in order to like to get the next best character because they were really unsure about the game. Exchang Li Yao, a character that's been given for free. I don't know. I feel like that argument doesn't really hold up unless we see a new character that is supposed to be a really good gameplay and also like the damage is good enough. It's just my opinion, honestly. But yeah, like I said, it's like I want to like to be like held accountable. So if you guys like have a different opinion, convince me in the comment down below. I'm really curious. They really need to add more male characters so I can skip them. If you don't like the design, and some people can enjoy the game more, maybe you guys need to spend more, or maybe I should stop spending on female characters. That's something that I just commented on. Are you from Sweden, Norway, Finland? Sweden. I already answered this. Yo, jag är svensk. It's not about prejudice, it's about profit. Simple as that, man. Okay. Welcome back, bro. We don't need 50-50 men and women. That's not my, like, honestly, I don't want like 50-50. Like, I just like want a good character for the sake of the story. The most selling banners are women, understandable. It's a fact. It's every gacha game. They have to make money, you know. Honestly, like, yes, I do want them to like to make money. And I do believe that people spend more on hot, sexy characters like Cantarella and the rest of like the female characters. But I believe like if you introduce, like I said before, like if you introduce a good character that is good enough for the story, I would spend like so much money. Like I spend so much money on WutheringWaves, like, and I spend so much money on GN as well. But I believe like if you introduce like a good character, I believe like people will summon for him. Why does it feel like 75% of the people didn't watch the entire video or pay any attention? I don't know. The watch time is at 2 minutes, so I don't believe people watched the whole video. But yeah. P.S. Love the first segment. It gives characters the video. I've been watching these AI leak videos all day, and they are kind of wild. They are. Thank you so much. At least nobody commented about the sword. Oh my god, the sword is so cool. I love the sword. But yeah, you guys didn't like it as much as me. To me, I'm a girl, right? Releasing a lot of female characters is not equal to being a gooner game. In WuWa, they aren't overly sexualized, except maybe Cantarella, but you can justify why. But it's true that PGR and WuWa needs more male representation. Not like, to be honest, I didn't mean it in a sense where it's like male representation, to be honest. I wanted to like I'm curious to like how would the story look like if they kind of introduced like a big aura character that kind of like counterbalance Rover character, but you can argue, yeah, that is a female Rover character, so maybe that argument doesn't hold up either. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, as honestly, because I feel like, yeah, I think like the first mistake that I did in this video is that I didn't explain my point of view properly, like in a sense where like why I want more male characters. I don't want them to like for husbandry reasons, honestly. I want them to for more like, yeah, good aura storyline pushers like characters. JP's back. WuWa is literally waifu simulator at this point. Imagine they release Gesho Lin. The community would go wild. That would be nice. As much as I love female design, I really wish there were more male characters. Shiran look amazing, and I really love this design, but wish there was more male characters for us girls, and just make it fair for everyone. Siren 7837 says, yeah. Honestly, yeah, you guys are keep on like contradicting yourselves. I don't know. It's like according to the dislike ratio, I feel like more people are kind of disagreeing with me, and some people are agreeing with me. But like I said, it's like I didn't explain it properly. Like I didn't explain my point of view properly of what I really want from the game. But yeah, we need more male characters. Just Plays just says. While I do agree that gender ratio is way off, I think they need time to adjust. Character designing isn't something you churn out in a month or so, especially if you want to design a character that doesn't feel like a filler. WuWa didn't start out strong, and I'm sure someone in there said girls sell. So they designed a bunch of female characters, which we now see. For them to add more male into roster, I think reasonable to wait 3 more patches before we say they ignored us. That's such a smart take, actually. Armachel 1412 says, yeah, it could be like, oh, they're following the trend of gacha games where yeah, like female or girls sell in a sense. So they could be that, and they were like, oh, our game is not well enough, and we are just like trying this new genre and stuff like that. So maybe we start with this thing. So they designed already every character that for the next like 3 big patches or whatever, like version 3.0 or whatever, and then they're going to be starting adding more male characters because people are more familiar with the game and they love the story and they want to like to see the next big character that can influence the story in a good way. Interesting take. It could be the reason as well, because yeah, like I said, it's like I feel like gacha games, in a sense, they're not more like a genre of a waifu collection anymore. Gacha games became like more like of a way to make money in a microtransaction way. I don't know if I explained that correctly, because in my brain made sense, but yeah, I feel like gacha games became more like, here's the game, but we're gonna be making this microtransaction way for the game to make money instead of like releasing it with money, like you buying the game one time and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of that, honestly. So we are mad that there is no new male characters. If you pull for looks of characters, just play Dating Simulator. That's true. Seriously, it's the same thing minus the fighting. That's very true. Half is really generous, maybe 5%. I don't think it's 5%, honestly. I think like it's up there. I feel like it's probably like 20% or more. Maybe like 1/4, maybe 25%. I could be mistaken as well. The like-dislike ratio, the incels didn't like this one. They didn't. I'll take ignoring 50% of the audience that wants male characters over ignoring 100%. The math doesn't add up there. 15. It should have been 85, but yeah, of the audience that wants QL changes like artifact loadout. Also, clearly Kuro is making some effort for male characters, albeit more spread out, far and few between, because they aren't nearly as profitable. If pushed out back to back, I don't want them back to back. Like that's the thing that I sort of like failed to explain in my video. That's an L on my part, honestly. I don't want them back to back. I want like the ratio to be like similar to what they've been introducing in the beginning of the game, like 1-3. Honestly, because yeah, I love collecting my waifus, but at the same time, like I would love to like to see what they could do with the story, introducing a good or a male character. Honestly, as great as their female designers are, I would never pull out my credit card, and many of the players feel the same way. Okay, all right. I feel like many players feel the same way. I feel like that's way out of reach, but yeah, I think most gacha devs, it's similar to what I did, half because of the like ratio on male characters and also like the Reddit posts. Pico Casio says, I think most gacha devs know how to sell any character if they want to, be it male or female. Unfortunately, we will never really know how much of a WuWa play base really would be interested in pulling melee for men. With male characters releases being so scarce, they simply have enough time to save enough and pull them instead of spending any money during the banner. It all comes down to how present those characters are and what role they take. I believe that's true. I believe like they are very spread out, but I feel like they don't have to like to change a winning formula, similar to what you guys like said in the comments. But I like I said, it's like I do believe they should like keep to the same ratio, so they don't like become as a dating simulator essentially. But yeah, their characters are like super hot. Like the female characters are really good, well made. Oh, my Cantarella, chef kiss. We Husbando Enjoys wants to go into, you know, no comment on that. But I respect it. I liked it. I'm a new player, decided to play because of the upcoming anniversary, and I found out there's 4-star weapons that were event only, and I won't ever be able to get them. Pretty stupid to lock content. Yeah, that's very stupid. I didn't like get along with that thing as well, because like I left the game for like a couple of months after the Shorekeeper, or I missed the Shorekeeper, and also like trouble with the channel. But when I got back, like they were like 4-star weapons that sort of got like locked behind events, which is stupid. Nan Kusas, I feel like I've been bad reading these names, but yeah, they were really hard. Male characters once every 6-12 months is fine. I get a bunch of time to save up and can get multiple copies for free without the need to spend. That could work as well. I like that one as well. But yeah, 6 to 12 months. Again, I would love like maybe each trimester, maybe like every 3 months you get one male character, just to like to sort of like keep the balance a little bit. But yeah, I don't feel like they already have the models and stuff like that. So I don't feel like they're going to be spending a ridiculous amount of money making them, in a sense, because yeah, the most difficult part of every game, I feel like it's the start, but it's like implementing them into the world. I don't feel like they're going to be losing too much money, especially for the amount of money that they spend. I think like the WuWa, like I feel like I think they spend like around like 100 million on the game to make the game, and in 1 month they made like 30 million or so, or 35 million. So they're already like winning. So I feel like it wouldn't hurt them as much. I don't really care what they do, but I would like them to acknowledge the players that are asking and be transparent about their intentions. Otherwise, players can feel milked for their support while they're coping that eventually the devs will listen, only to find they had no intention of doing so. It applies to all feedback, really, especially when they directly ask for feedback about a certain thing. It'd be good to let people know the results of the feedback and the dev's intention going forward. The only reason not to is that people stick around and potentially support the game, even though it's not really ever going to be for them. Not Yusil. I don't really know what... Do you mean the male characters? I'm kind of confused there. But yeah. But I feel like they should show more the results of like each like sort of, because they do have the numbers, each survey and stuff like that. That would be really nice. There are not enough male characters, but like I only play males, and you need like 2 teams to clear the end game, and I got those. Didn't have them before. My goat brand, but now I do. So I have 2 healers and 2 teams I can use for end game stuff. Though I mostly do not require healers, and I use buffers like Mortify and U1U, which can shield you with his constellations unlocked. I write to add more mail in every patch questionnaire, though. I'm glad they add a new arrow unit. I'm sick of Giants and arrow rovers gameplay. King Shadow says that. I mean, yeah, that would be nice to have like more of male characters. And like I said, it's like let me give likes on these ones, like I read them. Yeah, like I said, it's like people like play male characters because they enjoy their gameplay. It doesn't like necessarily have to like to be a gooner side, just like because we want to like to goon on male characters. I feel like it's more like for the play style, and also like the enjoyment of seeing like a good aura character, similar to, like I said, it's like The Witcher or God of War and stuff. The problem with the scarce male characters I see is they're generally trying to release new characters to cater for different appeal, and we are overdue for another Shuta Lin Yang V2. Yeah, Shutan says that. Hopefully they're going to be introducing more males in the story, and also like they explain or add more explanations for the characters that we already have. Calculator doesn't have any explanation for his story as well, so hopefully they do that. This is tasty. The only reason I want more males in the game is so that I can skip their banner and save my pool for more females. Let's go. My boy knows what he wants. I respect it. I actually responded with I respect it. It made me laugh so much, which makes sense. Like you can't like honestly, like I like the point that you guys pointed out to, like in the few comments that I'm gonna be reading as well, is that most of you said you're forgetting that it's a gacha game. It's not like your typical like AAA game that you can like request like certain character because they have their aura. They know that girls sell, and in a gacha game, that's exactly why they're doing. But I believe like Kuro Games, with the amount of hard work they put into their play style and also like the gameplay, I believe that they can have a good, or they can break the meta in a sense, because like they might have like followed like gacha, like Genshin in some parts, and they built on that foundation and made it better. I feel like they can introduce male characters in a way better form, better gameplay, and I think like people would spend on them just for the sake of they're really, really cool. Ekimanato, men saying the devs are ignoring 50% of the player base. Yeah, like I said, I do apologize for that. 50% is kind of reach. Like I said, I'm going to change the title, I believe, of that. Is a massive exaggeration. You're right. Most gacha players are men, and the whole game from banners to character design is clearly targeted at that audience. Again, I don't believe that, honestly. I believe, like, if you like the game play style, which I do, I love WutheringWaves play style, the parry, the dodge, and everything in between. I believe like you can pull people that would love to play the game and spend money on the game just for the sake of playing a cool character with a cool play style. So I don't agree to 100% with that comment, honestly. I don't know where that 50% figure comes from. Again, it's a comment based on the likes of male characters in different region, and then it was like a poll on Reddit, whatever. I'm not gonna post it because I don't want this guy to like get so much hate. But yeah, but it feels more like a dramatic headline than any actual data. Like I said, it's not actual data from Kuro, for example. It's more like based on those like initial looks to those things. Sure, some people want more male characters, fair enough, but claiming it's half the player base and that they're being ignored is just twisting reality. If you actually look at the comments and general reaction, the majority seem totally fine with how things are, and this whole gooner or simp label being thrown around to discredit people is just pathetic. It's cheap tactic to shame a portion of the community for how they enjoy the game and what they like. Instead of attacking people for their preferences, maybe we should start respecting that not everyone wants the same thing, and that's okay. I feel like he just like contradicted himself. Like literally, like he was attacking people that wanted more of the male characters, and then he contradicted himself, saying like maybe we should stop attacking people for their preferences. Maybe we should start respecting that everyone wants the same thing. Yeah, you said it. We should respect people that not everyone wants the same thing. I wonder like what's the replies on these ones. Nothing wrong with them saying 50%. And it's synthesized statistics. And how do you know 8% either? Yeah. Oh my God, you just contradicted yourself. You just said you don't want Tectone, but you watch Tectone. Your two brain cells are actually. Yeah, bro just keep on contradicting himself. Yeah, I respect it. I think he makes sense. He does like to some extent, like he wants to like to get his point across, but yeah, I think he felt miserably in that. But what was it there? The male resonator disparity has been hurting the writing for a long time now. It's narrative, writing, and characterization. Like I said, it's like I feel like it would do good for the story if they actually introduce an organic male characters. They don't. Maybe if they introduce more male characters in the story, just in the story, but without releasing them, maybe that would make it better. But I don't know. Maybe they won't make money on the models just to make the characters in the story. I don't know. It's really been on a downhill. Oh my God, the comments and the likes are really making me confused. Am I getting roasted, or am I like, are you guys like sort of like supporting male characters, or are you guys against? I'm not. I'm so confused. All right, the Fable Kid. I keep seeing this. They'll definitely sell shit on every one of these type of videos, and I just don't agree. Male characters don't sell because they're male, and that's the vibe I'm getting from these comments. You might want them to sell, but that's not how it works. Dude have to be badass, cool looking. I agree. Interesting, story driven, kick ass combat and combos. Females largely just need to be sexy or cute. The only reason I'm disappointed in Kuro for not making more male characters is cause I know they can deliver. That's it. I believe they can deliver as well. I personally don't pine for male characters cause frankly these are gacha companies don't have variation in their design. Even for something fundamental like body type, it's always lanky dudes. That's what I don't like either. With little to no muscle mass, I also think there isn't a ton of the way market capture that they're missing out on. I believe so as well. I believe that they can attract more people if they make them correctly, honestly. You're like, they can, like, yeah, it's like, I don't believe that, oh, it's just because it's a male based or male male dominant like field that that necessarily people wouldn't spend on really cool male characters. Like look at like gacha games such as like Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross, a game that I played for a really long time. I remember like when Escanor like came out, people spent a ridiculous amount of money just because the story was really, really good, and also like at the beginning at least the story was good, and also like the character in the story really resonated with a lot of people, and they were like, oh my god, Escanor is really cool, so I'm going to spend a ridiculous amount of money getting them. So yeah, Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross is sucks ass now. But yeah, I think there isn't a ton of the way market capture that they're missing out. You're not gonna suddenly get a wave of gays and women playing your game, and some straight dudes might complain about it, but ultimately they're more likely to bug out due to burning out than to having very little male characters. I like this. This is such a good argument, honestly. That summarized like pretty much what I wanted like to say. They're really been out on a downhill, and I'm saying this as a person. I played almost since launch and supported them multiple times, including by buying Jinshi skin. I'm telling you all, if they continue, it's done. Honestly, I don't think they're going to like to be like downhill. Like downhill in it depends on like what you mean with downhill. With the is it like with the male characters like context, or is it like as a game as a whole? Because I feel like the game is really building on their fundamentals, and they're making them better, so I feel like they're listening to the feedback of their players, sorry. So I believe that I think they're not going downhill, honestly. But yeah, well, if you're talking about the ratio of like 1 to 3 male characters every once in a while, and cool characters and cool male characters in the story, then maybe. But that as a game, I feel like they're doing pretty well. Thank you for comments as well. Thank you all for your comments, by the way. Hazel Anmehamani, sorry for butchering your name, essentially. Male characters not only bring less revenue, fair, but also don't have as many general pools. Free to play or not, as some female characters, Brand and Jian, are barely in the top 12 most pulled characters in the game. Again, they really didn't hype them up. Like I said, like Jian is the first character that got released, and people were really unsure of the game, so they didn't spend as much. And also, like, Brent is not a good character. He's just like a support, like a good support character that gives you shielding and buffs like in a good mono team. And also like Brent like is not like I said, it's like he's not a like his story sucks. Like I didn't enjoy his story personally, and yeah, like I didn't spend on him, even though that I advocate for more like the 1 to 3 like ratio. I didn't spend on him just because I didn't like him as much. Like I didn't think like he's a cool character. Like his story, I just like kind of like waved through it, to be honest. If you pull a character strictly based on the character gender, then that's a you problem. I personally enjoy my GN and Xiang Li Yao teams. Xiang Li Yao, a free character, despite being a full-blown degenerate, and I wouldn't mind more badass male characters. But getting into a game dev industry made me realize that companies will not do something that would hurt their revenue, no matter how many people want it and how impactful it could be on people, simply because it's still a business or a business that needs to make money, and WuWa will follow their artistic vision as long as it doesn't hurt their revenue. Also, half of the audience is very bold statement. WuWa has like 80-20 split according to some sources. Okay, fair. Yeah, I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with like male characters wouldn't sell. It all depends on the on how they present them, honestly, and I feel like they have the chance to like to do that. Bravo. So this might sound crazy, but Kuro is a gacha game company. Sure, they be more generous than others, but they gotta make money, fair, somehow. And for the game so centered around an audience which favor females characters, female banners simply will sell better than male banners. I don't like it, but that's simply how it goes. I respect it. I broke up with Genshin because it had been a year and they had only released one male character. So I switched over to WuWa because they had pretty good male to female ratio at the launch of the game. And their male characters are really hot, to say the least. But now, where are the male characters I want to goon to, but females just don't do it for me. I'm fine with scantily dressed women, but please give me some scantily dressed men with jingle physics too. I need my husbandos. Jasmo says that. And bravo. Thank you both for your comments, or all of you. But yeah. Hopefully like they release more character, maybe not for gooning purposes, but more to make the story more interesting. Yeah. So let's see how it goes, honestly, because there is like people that favors releasing like 1 to 3 male characters every once in a while. And I don't think they're going to be losing money on that, to be honest with you, because I feel like they're going to be lifting each other. Like female characters are going to be paying for the male characters, and also like they're going to be making some profits on that as well. If they're thinking about the long term, like keeping the game for a really long time, and also like keeping a good portion of your audience, and also like people that are saying like, oh, 20 to 80%, it doesn't matter, because like if you're selling something like let's say you have a restaurant and 20% of your audience or whatever have allergies, it doesn't mean like you won't be serving them. You're going to be making adjustments in order to cater for that audience as well. So I feel like, yeah, it could be just me as well. Dear Leos, I just pull whoever looks cool, to be honest. Gender has never been a prerequisite for me to pull. That's such a hard word. But I don't know why this is always framed as a company just doing the most profitable thing. Makes sense. I'm sure it's taken into consideration, but it could be just likely that Kuro just designing characters that they like and want to present in their game and story. I don't think they like. It's not that they like. I think if they go, if they make a character that they like, I think they could just like make it balanced. I think it's more like other people said, it's more about profit. I think like other people said, like girls sell more, so that's why. Roos OP 1050. When even Gunnar says there is too many girls, you really know things are wrong. Limao, I wouldn't have a problem with it if the game were like this from the beginning, like Nikki, for example. Then I would never picked it up, But I did pick it up, and I love the overall game. I love it too. I also like pretty girls, not complaining, me neither. But the in-your-face obvious Gunnar bait, jiggle fest, simping for Rover. Like, why is every single girl falling in love with Rover? It's so lame. I agree, and just straight up unnecessary over-sexualization of women. I hate it. It makes me enjoy the game less, and it makes me sad too, because everything else is so nice. Maybe I should just skip over story parts containing certain characters. I don't know. But yeah, the green guy looks so cool. Hope he's gonna slay. Yeah, like I agree to some extent with that statement. I don't like the over-forced flirtation with Rover. Like every female character that has to be released is going to be like going crazy over Rover. But like I said, it's like I think that's what sells, or most of you sell. And but I also believe people would enjoy it as well if the story is swaying in a sense of a good male character presentation or representation or whatever. So yeah. Wasted Talent says, man, your reasoning is very close-minded. I do agree more male characters would be good. Addiction? Did you mean addition? But men like women. They don't need to be goners or fixated with jiggle, physics, etc. It's true that many are very thirsty, but the way you talk seems like everyone pull for tits and asses, when it's not like that thing is. Who is covering the risk for the company if they release more male and they don't sell well? Do you cover their losses? These companies are business. If I open a pizza shop, I'm not going to sell pizza with marshmallows on top because somebody asked me to. The request should be so huge that I would be okay to take the risk. That makes sense, actually. Even though that I don't like your starting statement, but that makes sense. There was a fair comment saying, who pull for male characters have a load of time to save, so why would they pay when they can get it 100% free all the time? Super fair point. But what if that's not the only reason? Again, who will cover the losses if they are significant? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be losing money because, like I said, it's like they already have the models. The models for each characters. They just like fix the animations for them. Because I do believe the hardest part of like building a game is how like the world building and also like the first like model ideas that you're going to be creating. But I feel like it's way cheaper to get a character rolling, so I feel like they can afford like releasing one character as loss, and then they release 3 characters that can make the money as well. I don't think they're going to be losing as much as money. But again, like I go to the reasoning or sort of like the example of the allergies thingy. Just because you're losing money on certain things with stuff, because like a certain person like have allergies, I feel like you should like I feel like you should cater to all potential customers. Honestly, that's my opinion. They won't be losing like as much as money as you think. Rago 1024, most play female characters, male and female players alike. Why would a game make male characters that would not earn them anywhere as much money as female ones? Makes sense to make a male character once in a while. The game has a few and they look cool. But still, the pooling charts show female characters to be by far the favorite ones. Crying about inequality is ridiculous. I'm not crying about the like inequality in a political sense. More like if they produce a good character for the story, I think it would be one of the best story in gacha games. But to go back to your male and females players alike or whatever, and to go back to your pulling charts show female characters to be by far the favorite ones. They didn't release a good male character. Shangli Yao was free. Brent sucks ass. I didn't even pull for him because I didn't like his play style, and also I didn't like his story. And Jian was really good, a character that I spend money on to get, but he's one of the first characters ever in a game, so people were really unsure if they should be spending or not on it, and they still made a ridiculous amount of money. They still made the profits, essentially. Like imagine like releasing one model. Sure, you're going to be spending on the cinematics and the thingy and so on, but still, like I feel like they still made a substantial amount of money, even though that people were very hesitant to spend at the beginning. Honestly, like I don't go hard on games or spend a ridiculous amount of time unless I know they're worth my while. And also like the release for WuWa, like the VAs were kind of weird, that they had so many bugs, people disconnecting and so on. So people were really hesitant to make to sort of like spend money, honestly. And I wouldn't, because I'm not sure if this going to be sort of like fixed in future patches or not. So people were really hesitant to spend. So this like pulling charts show female characters to be by far favorite ones. I'm not really sure about it, honestly. I really don't mind more male characters. I need more moments to save and skip. Okay. I respect it, Hector. Tira Bro said half, more like 10%. I don't believe it's 10%. I believe it's 20%. I believe it's 20%. But yeah, half is exaggerated. Like I said, my bad. I apologize. Also, put in so much time into WuWa because I like the male characters. So if they are not releasing male characters, it feels like I've been wasting so many hours of my life. I think they don't have like necessarily like to have released like they should have like released like male characters like all the time. because I do agree to some extent that girls sell more in a gacha game sense, but I do believe that they should have like stacked to their ratio of 1 to 3. Yeah, I think it would be cool. And what you guys fail to understand from the dev side, they've already made plans until 2.8. This is similar to what another comment up top said. And you guys don't care every time your character is released. You scream, we need more male character. Do you know how annoying it is to see we need a male character comments on every post? You guys are the ones ruining the community. I don't believe so. Honestly, I feel like this is an L take. So I'm not going to give it attention. No, I don't believe it's ruining the community. I think like people should raise their voices if they want something, and if the devs listen, then yes, then it's okay, because you're not going to be losing anything. You can summon for the character or kind of skip it to make more room for upcoming character. So I don't know, I feel like your argument is invalid there. Sorry, buddy. To waifu simps, I'm not going broke, and homeless you are. Oh my god. I mean, ye hakudako, ye, yes, maybe you are right, but only because I like playing as a female in game doesn't mean I'm a gooner. It's just that the female characters look better, for my opinion. But I do think WutheringWaves is growing slowly to a gooner game, because how they work a lot on the physics and the bodies instead of like bug fixes or whatever. Like I said, my opinion, that's it. Okay, I respect it. Honestly, I didn't see much bugs and stuff. It could be like on other platforms, but I didn't see much bugs for my case anyway. But like, yeah, I don't want it to like to become a gooner fest, like I mentioned in my video. And I do believe like they should release like male characters, but I don't believe that they should like go all out on them. But I believe that they should introduce good male characters in a story sense. I think it would do the story very well, honestly. One thing people have to remember, just because girls pull for males, we also pull for females. Of course, we mostly pull for males, some with LGBTQ men, and some males are same for male characters. As I think Sun Goddess should be a hug buff big beard sun god, not a goddess. All right, I respect it. Let's give them a like as well. These are red. ZZ gets destroyed during their male characters' launches. I guess WuWa will release male characters less often, because ZZZ and WuWa players are mostly try-hard males, and the ones that are getting female audience that expect male are in HSR, Genshin, Love, and Deep Space, since those games are the games that usually cater to try-hard males. I don't know. It's like I played DZ like briefly, so I don't understand the correlation, but maybe you can drop in the comments down below to kind of make me understand, because I don't get it. Craving the sword for 2 days. I don't get it. Shiwan banner revenue will decide whether WuWa will give more mail or not. It's that simple. If it's lower by too much, then you know the fate is sealed. Who knows? Kuro might just give him out for free. I think so too. I actually believe that if he's a good character that is really good in the story, like I mentioned earlier, and also like if a character that like his damage is very substantial and kind of like works well with other mono teams, I think Shuwen can make a lot of money. I hope from Cyberpunk Collab they will release the protagonist David instead of Lucy. Rebecca only. I like the main character in Edge Runner. They have to. But if they release David, according to a lot of people that are, because they're male characters, like they won't play David or pull for David because it's he's a male character, essentially. I don't know. More like 10%. Fair. Again, how do you know it's 10%? I feel like it's more than that. Can't to see you watch Fall Apart in a few weeks. I generally don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right, Helena. All right. Just release more male characters. Example, like on 2.2, only Cantarella, they can just release another male characters on that patch. Win-win solution. Let those male wanters spend their saved Astrid. They can just sell Fenrico, Cristoforo, heck, even Carlotta grandfather for the kids, even if it's the same kid function. Fenrico equal Phoebe, Carlotta her grandfather. Heck, let people choose what to pull, so us waifus gatherers not need to listen to this bullshit over and over again. I respect it. All right. Half. All right. You made your point. It's not half. I'm sorry. Bro, what are you talking about? 2.4 looks incredible. You're literally the only person I've seen has negative talk about this. I didn't say it's Did I say negative anything negative about 2.4? I said it looks incredible. I said it's one of the best like patches that is ever gonna come. So I have no idea if you watched the video or not, honestly. Load Easy Dad like actually answered. He isn't talking about 2.4, he's talking about general. Stop spreading misinformation. 100%. I agree. Every male character is an easy escape. Doesn't matter how meta they might be. Yeah, Rose. Movika and Augusta both look alike. Bloom from Winix Club with the red and yellow hair. So should the Winix creator sue? What? Movika and Augusta both look like a Bloom from Winix Club. Bloom. Phoenix Club? Oh. Okay. I can see. I can see the resemblance. Female soldiers won't suffer if they worked at least the ratio of 40-60. I think like a 30-60 would be fine as well. I do like some of the females in WuWa, but it would be nice to have more men since I mostly came for the game because of them. Before anyone says go play Love and Deep Space, that game isn't what most of us is looking for. I never actually watched or saw anything about what is it called, Love and Deep Space, so I have no clue what it's about, honestly. That game isn't what most likely looking for, because personally, I just want a game with a good story. Me too. Isn't focused on romance and has a good exploration. Me too. Labs on the other side hand is a dating sim. We don't want to play a dating sim, but want to play a fantasy exploration game with a lot of characters. I tend to play games with mixed gender because I'm bi with male preferences. We might be the minority, but no one would suffer if they were to release more men. I don't think they would suffer, honestly. Whether ratioed very hard. I did get ratioed. Ignore half of the community. Brother, you're like 10%, and only male poolers are like the 1%. Respected. They are listening. That's why you have Cantarella, for example. In one of their surveys, they asked if they wanted characters with the slutty traits, and they surely gave it to us. Okay. I didn't know about the survey, honestly. The problem isn't Kuro. It isn't the problem even. It's just that the majority of Gacha players are men, and men want attractive women. Fair. Just look at what happened to ZZZ. Their revenue flopped in half because of Hugo. But even here, you have the same proof with Brent. He was hyped AF, just like that green guy, but pulls and sells tell otherwise. Brent's story sucked. And as a character in animation, he sucked as well. So I don't think he's a good example, honestly. But yeah, I agree with you. Sex sells, basically. Why are people even arguing against adding more male characters? You're still going to get your brainless waifu number 43. Do not worry, maybe the quality of them would even improve. And if not, how about you guys go play something else? There are so many games with only female characters that cater only to male audience when the opposite cannot be said for the other side. Fair. Okay. Okay, daddy. Imperial Amazir, a few take here. One of those that don't really care, so long as the character look good. Same. The animations are good. I would pull whether or not they're useful. I do agree that the male to female ratio is very unbalanced, though I could be wrong. But I think the reason for that is that female characters generally sell more. That shouldn't be disregarded, male character sales, but I think it's greatly overshadowed by it. Kuro being a company would do what any private company would do, which is rack in profits. This has been demonstrated time and time again, where players generally spend a lot of money for cute, sexy, or awesome female characters. I agree. The company notices that and therefore caters to that. Makes sense. While definitely unfair for those that want some male character, I think the fact that Kuro didn't completely give up on it and has just recently announced a new male resonator is a lot better of a situation than other gacha games where they just completely disregarded it completely. I agree with you. This is this is such a good take. I think it also helps that every time Kuro drops a male resonator, it's always designed and animated as a badass, and their stories are cool. True. Ultimately, I don't really care about this whole too many female drama that's been going on for a year now at this point, but I guess my personal opinion would be the quality somewhat makes up for it. I think so too. Also, regarding the Gunnar allegation and WuWa being a Gunnar game, we heard it countless time already on all gacha games. Who even cares today? It's a badge of honor at this point with how loosely it's used. Limao. Makes sense. Such a W take, honestly. I like that take. But yeah, it does make sense. Like, and the point where they didn't like abandon the fact that they're going to be releasing male characters like entirely, I think it's a W. So I do agree with that. Honestly, for me, I don't mind them adding many females as long as they don't over-sexualize them. Like, I think they did too much when they came to Cantarella. But characters like Shinji and Carlotta and such, I'm fine with. So I don't really mind getting many female characters, but I'd like to see more males. Maybe like every 2-3 female characters, add one male, or some like that, since Kuro likes to add so many females. I think this would be a good ratio. They'd still be able to add more females than males, but now it won't feel like they're only adding females. I think that new female characters are fine. I wouldn't mind getting them into the game. I think the biggest issue with having too many female characters would be in the story. I'd feel like an isekai anime, so the story aspect would suffer a lot from having too many females. It wouldn't feel unnatural. That's exactly why I asked for male characters. That's the only reason. I think like the story will suffer from fatigue of female characters, because like imagine for a moment like each character is essentially in love with Rover over and over again in each batch, and they're just like flirting with each other and humping each other. I feel like people will eventually like get bored and get tired, and they would stop playing WutheringWaves for the sake of the story. It would be more for the playstyle. But I do agree with that, yeah. But I don't really play WuWa for the story. Okay, people, okay. I like the game for the exploration, maps, and combat, and character designs. Moveset for having male or female wouldn't really matter. Makes sense. Like I said, as long as the designs aren't getting pushed to Cantarella's level, then I'm fine. All right, Frosty. That's a good take. I mean, the ratio isn't that bad. It's 1-to-2 ratio, almost 8 male characters, not counting teens, and 17, 18 female characters in game. It feels like a lot less. Most 5-star are females, and most men we got only pulled for like one, which was Brent, and the rest were at lunch or given out for free. Exactly my point. Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind 1-to-3, and I wouldn't mind maybe 1-to-4. I'm fine with 1-to-4, to be honest, just for the sake of the story. And we would love to see a good male character, like a really good male character, like just in the story, animation wise, playstyle wise, like fits with like maybe a couple of teams or whatever, similar to like Jinchi or like the upcoming character like Cartathea, like something big. Look up Eugene from the Guardian of Tales. Okay, I already did that. Look at ZZZ monthly revenue from 21,940 million last month to 10,880. 10 million is bad. Husband players are broke as F. They should stick to Love and Deep Space instead of any other gacha games. WWC the data and knew already from the other gacha games that can't satisfy the minority than AUS. 10 million is still good, honestly. How much do you think they spend on making one character? Do you think they spend that much? Probably like they probably on that they probably made like 5 million profit, probably 5. I'm just guessing here, but yeah. But honestly, like I feel like CCC probably didn't implement, or I'm talking like out of like imaginary here, but maybe they didn't implement them properly. Just guessing. No, they're listening to the audience as most of them asked for more females. It was even on the survey. It's not Kuro, but it's the audience that changed how the game is. If you want to change that, the best way is to spend on male characters. If you look at Brent, he had one of the most likes on Twitter. However, his sales didn't go there. This shows Kuro that people are not willing to pay for him. I'm going to say this. the next male char, Shuan Chen, is the decider on how often the males will be added, as this is the second chance, not counting the free guy. And if he does, we'll expect future males char to look more like him. If not, then the one male per region. Also, adding males still makes it a gooner game as women do goon. Okay, makes sense. It does make sense, but honestly, like I said, Brent sucks, and all the male characters that they've released, they wouldn't like hold a finger like compared to all the female characters that they released. They're not as cool. Way too many female characters. Kuro's pissing me off. To be honest, I'm considering quitting the game. I enjoy gameplay of most characters regardless of gender, but I also prefer a slightly more balanced gender ratio just for some variety. I'm not interested in harem stuff. So I skipped the story and all of campaign quests. What's really been boring me out are the lame and tedious events. Bets on the cube race, that sucks. Watching movies, I hate that. All I'm looking for is 2R2A, like TOA, same, and begrudgingly WuWa reset, and I wonder if we'll ever see the elusive realm again. Yeah, the cubes and the watching movies I hate so much. I'm just like skipping everything. It's not for me, honestly. If Saint Otis sees this, you are cooked. Do I look like I care? Half Limao facts though. Gay. That was funny. But yeah, I respect it. Honestly, you guys like make sense. When it comes to profit and stuff like that, I do agree with you guys. Like they're thinking about making as much money as they can, which is fair, honestly. But like I said, the only reason why I want male characters, personally, I want it for this for the sake of the story. I think it would be cool, aura and stuff like that. And I believe like people are saying that males wouldn't spend on male characters is absolutely incorrect, because yeah, you wouldn't, because if you use that argument, you wouldn't be playing any of the other characters that have protagonists as a male. Essentially, you wouldn't buy a game just to play as a male character. I think like if you properly introduce in the story and also like properly build animation wise and team wise and everything, I think people would spend money, because sometimes like the attachments is towards the actual, how do I describe this? Towards the actual game. Like you build loyal fans towards the actual game style and so on. But I'm here to be corrected. But thank you so much for your feedback and also like holding me accountable. I really, really appreciate it, because I don't want like a bunch of yes people. I want to like to see the other perspective, and also when I do something wrong or say something wrong, I want to be corrected as well, because we live and learn, basically. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. And this video is going to be a little bit long. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I hope you guys have a really fantastic day. I'll be catching you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.